So I also personally want our industry, India as a whole, to move to more value driven and tech driven thing. But then, you see, the reason I asked you is that major IT players, their DNA is set on body shopping. It's on headcount, okay, and on cost arbitrage. So if you look at all the major IT players right now, so they are all opening up centers in another low cost geography. So they are not, it's not like, India is becoming expensive. GCCs are coming here, the talent is costly. They're not finding ways to see how I can move my company into a value driven company. Where will I get more cheaper people? In Southeast Asia, move to Indonesia, move to Malaysia, move to Thailand, so, or else move to, Africa, Kenya. So that is their, thought process. So their thought process is about finding where I can get more bodies for lower price, so that I can continue to operate in the same model. And with that said, and I also observe a recent trend that, as you say, there were pure line managers whose job was just to manage people. Now, when you say, right, line managers as a role exists, but 50 to 80% of it is still contributing to the top line, right? So that is where I see that, and that's the reason I asked you that question.
Sure, sure.
Got it. So kind of, going over to Pankaj, right? Pankaj, can you, kind of help me, how understanding corporate hierarchies will benefit new employees in navigating their career?
So, in like from my perspective, corporate hierarchy is the tool to create a organization which function and work, in a healthy way where there is no double reporting, or there is no dependency over dependencies. Okay, for a small. This corporate hierarchy, if employee understand, he will know like to whom to make a better relationship, and to whom to approach. Like, so this corporate hierarchy defines accountability and authority, like proper roles and responsibility. So if any new employee understand that, actually, so then he can do better in his job.
Okay, so kind of questioning you on that, right? So I see a couple of trends. One is people, especially in the HR world, right? It happens. I've seen it a lot. The founder thinks the organization is growing, and then, does not know what to do. Thinks that he needs an HR, then goes out to the market, finds some 3 to 5 years experience HR who has done, say, let's say, the HRBP part or only the TA part, and then brings that person and puts them in the organization, gives them a manager or a senior manager designation, and expects them to be a superstar and do everything in the organization. And we end up interacting with those people.
Yeah.
So and oftentimes, sometimes you find great leaders in that. There have been great leaders developed out of that, but majority of the times, you find people who are, wearing shoes bigger than that they can fit in, and then, kind of scampering their way through that. So how do you think that hierarchy would work? Do you think, there you should have somebody as a consultant kind of mapped there in between in the hierarchy, or how do you think that should work?
So it, like, first of all, as I will say, whenever we, even for our company, if we are looking for any candidate, so job description has to be defined very well. And few things are visible, and few things are like, we need to look for his characteristics, like what exactly kind of personality, what all experience and skill set we are looking for. So if that part is not done well, then definitely we have to struggle with the person, and end up with the doing his job also by ourselves.
Got it. So for me, especially if I tell you, right, for me, I was naively ignorant, but also, good in the early part of my career. I just used to bump into a lot of people and continue talking. So I was talking to my senior manager within Music when I joined, and I had made decent friends with him
Mm.
because of that friendship that no, I would not say friendship. That relationship that I had built with my senior manager actually helped me get into sales,
Yeah.
because I was in delivery. I was a data scientist.
Mm-hmm.
But then, that relationship I had built with the manager, I didn't know, he was a manager, he's powerful, this, that, and all. He talked well, I also talked well, and just we were getting along. And then I wanted to decided to move into sales. And
Yeah.
then, I go to the head of pre-sales. I go to the head of pre-sales, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, I want to join into the sales team. What should I do? Then he
Mm-hmm.
makes me sit down, and then we have a conversation for 15 minutes. I am just talking like normal. I didn't know it was an interview.
Okay.
And then the next thing he does is that he picks up the phone. He's
Mm-hmm.
like, which team do you belong to? I'm like, I'm in Home Depot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Home Depot, Harsha. Okay, I'll
Mm-hmm.
call Harsha. So he then picks up the phone. He calls my senior manager and he's like, hey, do you know this guy Gautam? Ah,
Mm-hmm.
yes, man. He just joined the team. Can I get him into the sales team? Hey, he just joined a
Mm-hmm.
couple of months back. What will he do in the sales team?
Yeah.
Then, but is he a good guy? Yeah, yeah, very energetic. That is enough for sales, and then done.
Yeah.
But that point, if I had not talked to my senior manager,
Correct.
I don't know whether I would have moved to sales or not, and I don't know the road not taken. What would have happened otherwise?
Correct.
But those things, kind of tend to be important.
Yeah.
But you making that relationship is important.